Hey, it's Matt Cook. If you have pain in the musculoskeletal system structures of your body, muscles, tendons, ligaments, joints, bones, etc., then it's highly likely that learning to move your body better, enhancing your mobility, your movement ability, will be a crucial part of your recovery or your improvement. Your muscles and your tendons are linked up to part of your brain by your voluntary nervous system to your motor cortex, right? So motor cortex, motor, it's related to movement, right? So it's like this stuff is for movement. Keep that in mind. Now, anyone who has pain in these structures has certain fears of movement, okay? So someone who has like an injury, especially like a chronic injury that just won't heal, they still have fear of moving in particular ways that they correctly reason will cause them pain. All right, so this is valid. It's not insane. It's completely valid. So that's one part of it, and a second part of it is that like a lot of the pains in the muscles are also caused by like fears and dis-eases related to specific actions, right? So you're not just repressing like joint movements or muscular contractions, but also like expressions of the body, especially in like a social context or something like that. Like you might not allow yourself to like do very open, expressive body language or something like that. You might be like, no, I don't really express like that. So, if this kind of movement is off limits to you, then you're going to have like chronically tight shoulders and chest, for example, right? So someone who wants to get through this pain period and eventually just have their body feeling lovely and nice needs to move through those movement fears and those action fears, right? And once those fears kind of like are past, well, it's kind of like the end of the disease in a way, and the symptoms can just basically go away because they're not needed anymore. And the paralyzing symptoms are not needed, the compensations are not needed, the shutdown of blood is not needed, and everything can just function nicely and heal and be good, right? So to actually do this though, you need to like want to move your body, right? So I advise people who are recovering from these problems to have a specific enjoyable activity that they're trying to get better at, right? That is very all-encompassing of bodily movement, right? So my favorite ones to advise are martial arts and dance because, well, you're just like moving your whole body all over the place, aren't you? And they're very enjoyable, right? Like they're far more enjoyable than like just exercises, right? Gymnastics is another good one. Okay, you can probably think of your own. Like you could do like sword fighting or something like that, or there's so many really. Like anything that you find enjoyable that engages a lot of the body is going to be fantastic, especially if it's something that really like challenges your hips, challenges your lower back, challenges your knees, challenges your shoulders. You're going to get huge benefit out of that, right? So this video is not necessarily about telling you any advice on how to move or anything like that. It's just to make the point that your pains are related to movement and action, and part of your recovery is going to be to begin moving again, right? And have your eye on, like almost like a goal for yourself. Like you see yourself moving in some particular way and you keep kind of like going toward that, trying to manifest it. And as you do that, you are going to run into all the barriers that exist to you doing that, right? You're going to come up against them. You're going to give yourself an opportunity to overcome them, okay? Overcome all these fears, get your body working again, and that's kind of like the catalyst. The goal catalyzes the internal reaction experiences that result in healing, okay? Now, one realization I had at the very beginning when I was starting to do movement training with Era Westerberg was that I actually needed to bring down the difficulty of the movement all the way to where I was to actually get a new foundation to go up from. I was trying to do all these like challenging movements like deadlifts, right? And like squats or something like that. And like it turns out that these are actually quite advanced movements, right? And I realized that I had to bring the movement ability that I was chasing all the way down to just tiny movements of the spine, right? Like you got to go all the way down to kind of like connect with the most shut down, dysfunctional areas. Like, because when you try to do harder stuff, you kind of like skip over the deeper parts of the problem, right? You never really notice them. It's only when you completely slow down and target as I said, the deepest parts of the problem that you get the biggest boost in function and recovery, right? So that's why in my Back Pain Miracle course, which I always like to mention at the end of the videos, it's all about the absolute slowest, gentlest movements that you can possibly do for your body, right? Because if you have these motor conflicts and your body's not working properly and you have pain, your spine and your hips and stuff are like, they just don't move properly, okay? Not just a little bit, but like they're messed up, okay? And like you can't kind of like yank them and kind of like, stretch this muscle. It doesn't work like that. You can't strain yourself out of pain, right? Like you have to just go down and go high lower back, high hip joints, and just kind of like slowly move them. And that's kind of like the best way to get started recovering from pain. So take a look at the courses in the description. Highly recommend you start with the Back Pain Miracle. Got other good ones as well, sciatica, gentle stretching, and this nice strength training that I learned when I studied ballet in Russia. So really good courses. Take a look, see what's appropriate for you. And just enjoy it. Enjoy becoming more conscious of your body and feeling it better and just getting everything to move better. It's a great journey. I think you'll love. Okay, if you've got questions, you want to know something specific, please put them in the comments. Otherwise, subscribe. See you in the next video.